Good morning. Hello. Yeah, last night at some point I had I was going to try to come back to after I got back home, but the fireworks were when I left the house and I had to leave for like 30, 40 minutes or whatever when I got back. The oh my goodness. Um my dog was terrified and definitely just jumped up in my lap. And keep in mind he's a big dog, so he's sitting there in my lap like this, and I'm in this gaming chair and like I got literally no space to, do anything. So anyway, let's see where I'm at. I'm over here. Here we go. I need a better way to like see my chat from TikTok. We'll see how this works out. I feel like this was a bad investment, but whatever, it's all good. The $20 a month or whatever. I need to see. I need to know. I miss being able to stream to a third platform. It's not a big difference, but it is a difference. All right. I was playing this for a little bit last night. So the YS ease. It's pronounced ease. This is the first one. I believe I have two, but it's just the way that the games are organized is super weird. Let's see. Yeah, so see, I can never figure out which one I have. Like, 'cause I've got all these here, and all the covers look the same. I think most of these are ports from like PSP and stuff. But it's a series that started back on like the Turbo Graphics and some other, maybe it was on the MSX or something. I don't know. Um, but it's still around. Used to. I played Origin. I don't see. I don't like when you have a game called One, and then one called Origin. It's very hard to figure out like what the hell any of this is. Um, how do I get back to where the hell I just was? There you go. All right, so we'll go through. I feel like Atari 50 is just safe. Yeah, I didn't. So I bought the DLC for Atari 50 the other day, and I didn't actually load it up after I bought it. Or no, I didn't. I think I tapped out like right away. All right, let's go. I've got a Razer Tartarus on the way. Look it up. I have been wanting to check one of those out for a while. I had to get something else. Like, man, I'm going to spend money on credit. I might as well just go ahead and do more stuff at once so I can just have like a solid payment instead of being like I should have added this thing too. So that's the thing that's happening. I wanted one of those the is it Azeron, whatever, it's the keyboard that like you put your hand in and it's got like keys in the bottom and up top, so when you move your fingers it's like hitting different buttons depending on how you move your hand. um I'm not gonna I'm not gonna bore anybody with this. Here we go. Let's watch this video real quick. So Atari Pac-Man, if you didn't know, is it's like both famous and infamous. So the thing about the game is that it's Pac-Man on Atari. Pac-Man is at its peak, during the Atari 2600. But the problem with the game, to most people, is like they made so many changes to make it work on the Atari. Because you had, the limited color palette. You've got like no RAM, almost no storage, whatever. It's got to fit into like maybe like 1 KB at the most. So what they did, you'll see it. You'll see it. It's a really interesting game to me. It's a really interesting version of Pac-Man. It's something different.
We had a coin-op lab with the current leading coin-op games in it there in the VCS division. So we had a Pac-Man coin-op around, and honestly, it didn't really grab me the way Defenders did. Defenders was the game that really sung to me. Bob Pilar remembers this
Defender
differently
is
than
so
I
good.
remember it, but boss at that time, Dennis Coble, said, okay, there's 2 projects to be done, Pac-Man and Defenders. And Bob said to me, I don't see how to do Pac-Man, so I'll
Keep saying Defenders.
the
Come on,
thing
Todd.
that made the dots was called Playfield. So Playfield was for, in the 1975 arcade games, was the chunky stuff you were driving around that was static, that was just fixed, that you couldn't change. But you could actually get in on the 2600 and change the playfield on the fly. Now, the maze is basically what playfield was for. Using the playfield for the dots was not what playfield was for, but we did. It wasn't easy, but basically, in the same way you could chop the screen up into vertical slices, you could say, in this slice, when I get to this part of this slice, I'm going to go through and change the background as we go across the screen. But if you actually want to change them during the gameplay, if you want the second half of the screen to be different from the first half of the screen, you actually have to go and rewrite the playfield registers while the electron beam is moving across the screen. And that is doable, and that is how I did the dots. And then after that, we had discovered Flickr. Now, Flickr and Pac-Man is a big deal. One of the things you can do is just say, I've got 2 things that you can draw. 1975, 2 of those was great. Now we had 5 of them on the screen that mattered. Pac-Man has 4 ghosts and a Pac-Man and a fruit, which is actually 6 things that you would call players in some of our parlance, or sprites in normal video game parlance.
Yeah, right. Sprites. Strange term. I've never heard that before.
Little cartoon characters. They change across the screen like the dots you're picking up. They're just little pucks, little ones. And there's only 2 of those. So Flickr happened, right? Flickr happens by saying, I'm going to always play the Pac-Man, and I have 4 ghosts, and I'm going to draw one of them every 4th frame. And that's it. And then the ghosts are sitting there, they're on for a frame and off for 3, and then on for a frame and off for 3, and it looks horrible. And people know that. And I do so, and I say, look, they're ghosts. I mean, you could see them, they were good enough.
I'm so bummed that there's like probably never going to be a Midway collection. Midway had so many cool games. Like looking at Pac-Man, and part of the reason you don't see Miss Pac-Man anymore is mostly because of that. So he was explaining why they had to make certain choices. They had to like flicker things on and off to kind of share the sprites in the screen. But it does this thing where it's just like... Fast Pac-Man. Ghost crawl especially slow for young children. Yeah, so the complaints people have is like, well, it's Pac-Man, but like, you can't see the ghosts all the time, and the idea that they had was like, well, they're ghosts, so they should be partially invisible. Damn it. Alright. Also, the dots are not dots, they are clearly rectangles. But I mean, you know, it works, it's fine. To me, like, because the closest I got was, you know, playing stuff on like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, maybe Nintendo games also, where like you want to play an arcade game at home, because at the time, like, arcades were like the best. If you wanted to have the best of the best, you'd go to the arcade. Man, what a waste. Like, say Mortal Kombat for Super Nintendo, and how that game, you know, like, to me, it's like, when you look at it, it's like, well, outside of the blood, it looks great, but then it plays really bad. Like, a game like Pac-Man, playing that at home on the Atari must have been, like, amazing. So, you know, even though the game is not perfect, you know, it's still enough to get by. There's even some changes that are happening here. Like, I don't think he seems to. In the arcade version, there's no dots. He moves faster. Also, the ghosts have different personalities, but you can't do that here because they're all the same. There's a top path and a bottom path, I guess, but there's no side path to go through, like a little warp tunnel. I have to get that little dot right there so I don't have to worry about that guy getting me. Whatever. Rude. This is DLC I paid money for, by the way. I paid money for this. I like my old man games. I don't know. Even if they're not things I grew up with, like they're still cool to me. Still real to me, damn it. I finished that screen. Oof. Man, time just ran out. Let's do them on each other. These two. There we go. Got him. So I have been wanting to find a game that has like an old school mall. I guess any mall is technically old school, but like, you know, maybe like a 80s or 90s game. Like there's Retro Rewind, which covers, you know, like the Blockbuster type experience, like rental stores, but like, I don't know, I want a game where you can just kind of like walk around a space from that time. It seems like it'd be pretty cool. Not exactly an urban exploration game, just I don't know. Well, there's Anarchy Arcade, which is what I used to use to stream my games, or not stream my games, play the games like on my computer, which lets you set up like an environment. Like they'll have like maybe it's somebody's neighborhood, and you can set up each house however you want to. Whoops. I hit that dot there thinking because it was a different color. But that's supposed to be like an apple or whatever, you know, the little point things you get on. Like that. Up in the middle is going to be a pain trying to get. It's fine, we'll work it out. We're good. I think I have another life. I don't know what the dot in the middle means. I don't know, is that like an extra life or is that the last life? Or we're good. As I said, getting the ones in the middle is going to be a bit of a pain. Cool, we're good. We did it. We did it. Come on. Rude. Almost got me. Almost got me. You know, man. But yeah, when this collection came out, without the DLC, of course, like the base game was such a cool thing just because they had so many like really, really, really fun interviews with people. I guess when they turned red, they're about to go back to normal. Good to know. this? Oh no, I left a dot. Oh, game over, man. Game over. Dadgummit. Dig Dug. The arcade version of Dig Dug. Is there? I don't think there's an Atari version. What is this person standing on? What is this? What is this? Could you imagine? It's like a fake quarry. Game over, man. What's up, dude? Man, is there an Atari version of this game? I don't know. Dig Dug Goes to the Movies.
I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending the 3rd International Conference on Science and Technology.
I hate how this collection here in Atari 50 is like the best one, and I feel like they started off strong, and like every other one has been like a little bit like different since then. They had this Karateka, whatever you want to call it. That game's on there too. That one, the problem with that game is that it only focuses on the one game. They can't show Prince of Persia because they don't have the rights to it. You know, it's under Ubisoft, so that one's a little bit weird. The what's his name? Jeff Minter collection. Jeff Minter is just a weird guy, so it's cool seeing interviews about him, but at the same time, like the games are just kind of like, whatever. Outside of like Tempest 2000. And then you get Tetris Forever, which like Tetris Forever is the one that should have been like, like a surefire hit, but like they don't include Nintendo or Game Boy Tetris because they can't. Speaking of resumes, I thought about redoing mine recently. I haven't touched it in like 4 or 5 years since I got this job.
Well, I don't know, but that's another one.
Good gracious, there goes another one.
They're multiplying.
Yeah.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin. Mysterious underground creatures are moving your way.
We have a problem here.
Come on, everybody. Take a chance. We're going underground to do the Dig Dug dance. First you tunnel through a wall of
Yeah, exactly. Like when you look at all of his games, like this is a llama game. This game is called Llama Number 2. This game is called Llama Number 3. But it's so weird. I don't know what I was expecting from that. I think what it is that there's some games that he did since, like, he did the what is that game? What is that creepypasta game? The game that people said, like, the FBI was kidnapping people, playing or whatever. The one angry video game where it had whatever it was, whatever the game was. He made a game based on that. Seemed cool, but it's not in the collection because why would it be? But it seems like it would fit in the size limits.
Say something. Just like a bazooka. Use it to blow holes.
That guy's hand, he's sitting there dancing with a guitar. His hand is nowhere near the strings. His hand is like way down here. The strings are like up here somewhere.
All they want is for us to play with them so we can all have a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Doug from Atari. Dig Dug is so cool. Let me play Dig. I need to play this. Ah, boy. What is the start button? There we go. Lost my mind when I was sitting here playing. It was like early 90s. I was playing, not early 90s, like I'm gonna say maybe like 1998, 1999 or whatever, is when I had like, when MAME was new, somehow I came across it because I was like, oh, maybe there's a way you can play arcade games at home. I knew about emulators, but I didn't think this would be real. And I remember like just downloading games that were small because I was using like dial-up, and this is one of them. And I was like, oh, this game was, man, this game blew my mind. I don't know what it was. I think it was something to do with the soundtrack maybe, but like, man, I was so into this game. It's one of those games like my dad used to talk about arcade games, where he would play stuff like, you know, Pac-Man and Galaga. So when it came to this, he had never heard of this. So there's this thing going on in the US I've recently become aware of that I need to look more into, where, like, I like it, I appreciate it for what it is, but apparently more and more people are starting to, like, look for MP3 players and stuff because they're tired of all these streaming services taking things away or, like, changing how much everything costs. So it's like people are, like, trying to go back towards some sort of ownership, which is nice. But it's just the fact that, like, you know, like, Sony has, like, a new Walkman that's out there, but the Walkman's, like, $300 or $400, but it's just an MP3 player from what I can tell. Oh, come on, you're not escaping me, guy. There's no hope. Playing this and then be like, man, I wonder if they made a second one, and then playing Dig Dug 2 is also very strange because Dig Dug 2 is a completely different type of game. Like, you still have the entire pumping mechanic, but instead of being like whatever this is, you are instead like drilling holes in the ground to like make, like, I would almost say like a Looney Tunes style, like a Wile E. Coyote type platform to make the enemies drop off the cliff on. You can blow them up too, but like, it feels like it's more so focused on the entire oof, like destroying the landing. Are both of those, they're gone. I couldn't tell there were two guys there. How rude. Wow. Exactly. When I was looking into them, I was like, man, people seem to be going crazy for these new Walkman. I looked one up just a minute ago, like right before I started streaming. Like, what is this? And I looked it up. I was like, yo, this is $400, and it's just a phone without phone service. Like, you could just go get a smartphone in that case if that's all it is. Looking for the, there we go. All right. Dig Dug. Good old Dig Dug. I guess we're gonna play this, the 5200 version of Pac-Man. 5200 does not get any attention from anybody ever for understandable reasons. Like, why would you? It's like the cross. Like, you get the 2600, which is classic. You get the 7800, which was designed to compete with the Nintendo, but then the 5200. The only thing I ever hear anybody mention about it is that it has a really bad controller. I've never seen one in real life, so I don't know. I appreciate the ghosts are all different colors now, but I don't appreciate the fact that the map is like extra wide. So like this bottom area here feels like it's just like death. Not that I have died in the bottom corner yet, but man. Oh look, the ghosts actually changed to the correct color. And they flash too. Great. We did it. We did it. Sweet. It feels like they squeezed more dots into here to kind of make it probably empty space. Or not empty space, the extra space that wouldn't have been there before. Like the fact that everything's like wider, so they just put a million dots in there. I guess the only other option would be to make him move faster, which is, you know, that's also a different experience. Woo, boy. Oh, it has the speed thing. Even the tunnels work how they're supposed to. Wow. There is a cheaper model that's only like almost $400 USD, but man, even then, that's still crazy for a cell phone. It's a premium cell phone, I'm sure, but I mean, it's also not a cell phone because you can't call anybody. And they're advertising, oh man, you can actually play videos on this Walkman. I'm like, what? You can play videos on a phone? What are we doing? It's almost there. I like the idea that they're going for, but the price point and everything else is just kind of off. I get it. I get it. Oh my gosh, almost. If I just turned faster, I'd be fine. It's pretty good. This version's pretty good so far. Wow, we even have a cutscene in the middle. And look, he's gonna do the thing. He's doing the thing. Get him, Pac-Man. It's got the correct Pac-Man art too in the background. Like for the box art. Instead of the weird one where he has like legs. Oh my gosh. You better run, fat boy. Oh, man. Oh. I'm hurt. That's it, right? Game over? Game over. This is better. This is better. This is definitely a better version. That's weird. Didn't expect much from that. I mean, the biggest thing with that is, like, it's just Pac-Man is Pac-Man. I didn't understand why some people... So there are people, you know, you got like, your Billy Mitchells in the world that are like, Pac-Man is the best Pac-Man. And the thing about Miss Pac-Man that changed is that I guess they changed up, like... It's some sort of a randomization or something, so it makes the game a little bit more unpredictable, which makes it that much harder. You know, it's better if you can do consistently good. Like, you can't memorize everything in that game. But the biggest thing is, like, on this game is that the game is... This one, everything's wider compared to the arcade version, so, like... I wonder if the arcade version's on here. I don't think it is. Did I miss it? I did miss it. No, wait, it's here. And we can look at it, but I guess we can't play it. Ah, damn it, Namco. Anyway, that's crazy. That's crazy. They don't even have Wild. That's crazy, man. There's arcade Pac-Man is not here. There's the weird Pac-Man. Don't like that. Never like that. It's always like strange to me. But it's like they made the game stretched out like widescreen, which is fine, but in order to compensate for that, they actually made the maze wider, so like there's way more dots there. But you do the thing where like if there's no dots on the 5200 version, your speed increases. The ghosts also slow down when they go to the tunnels like they're supposed to, and the tunnels are on the left and right side of the screen. 2600 version, they're like on the top and bottom, which is weird. That ain't right. Galaxian. Check out the sick art. I like that. This is not what I imagined when I play Galaxian. I don't understand how they got here. I don't understand how you look at like, yo, this box art is crazy. Oh, they had masks. Why? Man. But I want to think of Galaxian. What do I think of this? I don't think of this. This is not the same thing to me. I literally thought I just died. Biggest thing with Galaxian versus Galaga is that you can only shoot once, which to me changes the pace of the game. Like you can only have one shot on the screen at a time. Galaga lets you shoot multiple times. There's also no what's it called? Is it they have that ship that comes down from the bottom that can kind of like pick up your ship in Galaga. Like that's not here. Not the kind of thing I'd really want to play for a long time, but like, you know, it's whatever, it's Galaxian. So they announced, I believe it's Ace Combat 8, and I have never really got that far into any of the Ace Combat games, and I keep thinking like, man, maybe before 8 comes out, maybe I should play through a couple of them. But I just don't. When it comes to fight games that have like jets, like modern combat fight games, the thing is like it ends up being this thing where like you're using lock-on weapons, you're always using like heat-seeking missiles or whatever, and you also just kind of end up going in circles and using flares whenever you can to like that's it. Like you just end up kind of going in loops with each other for a while. But maybe that's just me like not fully understanding modern fight stuff. Like I love World War II fight stuff. Yikes. Deal. Try not to move when those shots are coming around me. How do I hit this thing? Got it. Their patterns are weird. The way they like kind of bunch up together and they'll like they were all on the screen and all of a sudden they just sort of took off. It felt like the game was like skipping or something like that. It was like lagging, but it wasn't. They were just moving. They're just I don't know. I like that. I like that. This game is also pretty cool. Let's check out the 8-bit version. This is the home computer version. Oh, it looks the exact same. How's the sound? A little bit sharper. They're taking off in like a group formation, and they'll sort of just like lag a little bit or something. I don't know how to describe it. It's like they come down to the bottom of the screen and just sort of like sit there for a while. Doing all right, man. Losing my edge. Last life. Oh, come on. Just got bombarded. Alright, GG. GG. That feels the exact same as the 5200. Released a version of Galaxian for its home computers, which is basically identical to the 5200 release, since the 5200 itself was based on the 8-bit computer hardware. Okay. And Jim Kelly wasn't playing football, he was designing art for Galaxian. Xevious. This is one of those games that I can respect for what it is, but this game has... The problem with this game, to me, I'm sure it has an ending. I'm sure you can finish this game, but listening to the soundtrack for longer than like 20 seconds, it's up there with like 10-yard fight for the Nintendo, where it's just like, it's very, very, very annoying. It's just the soundtrack though, like the game itself is totally fine. Hold on, still here. This is the soundtrack, this is all you hear. Whatever the hell this noise is, this is it. This game incorporates, you can move up and down, which is new. And you can also, you have the ground targets that you can bomb. I think this game also has a lot of like secrets and stuff in it that I've never been good enough to find. Ugh. This feels like the kind of game that if you played it in the arcade, you wouldn't really mind this. But I'm telling you, man, this soundtrack after like a short while gets to be super annoying. Like, it's already there for me. Oh. Here. The weird flying disc thing soon, I think. No. Come on, I got far behind. Dang it. Yeah, so that's what this game is. This game is whatever. It's a cool game, but it's just not. For the Sovalu and take on the forces of Xevious and the grandfather of all vertically scrolling arcade shooters. The original arcade version was a highly influential game not only for its dual button air-to-ground shooting action, but for its fleshed out characters and world building. I hope you saw that extensive story there. It's very good. No other game allows for such diverse gameplay, as no wave is ever the same. With this self-percentaging feature, Xevious provides a unique competition between the player and a smart computer that actually responds to player input. Easy, average, hard, and expert. Player faces 32 different enemy targets on both land. Okay. Yeah, there's no thing about how many levels. Okay, this machine's 300 pounds. When I was a kid, this machine would have seemed like impossibly heavy to move, but like it doesn't seem too bad. If I had one, if I was in a situation where something, hey, you want to take up, you want to have my copy of Xevious, the arcade machine? Yo, that looks pretty sick. Oh, I like that design. I've never seen this arcade cabinet in a while, but like, man, the fact that it's like you got the control panel down here, and there's like a lip, and then you got the screen with the bezel and stuff around it, which looks pretty sick. And then there's that top panel up there that I guess is just, it looks like another like picture. I'm sure it's just art, but it just makes the whole thing look neat. What I used to love about like American arcade machines, American style arcade machines, is the fact that they're so like big and heavy. Like they feel like solid. Never been a fan of this design though. Like when you go to an arcade machine and you see there's a joystick in the middle and buttons on the left and right, which is like player one and player two, it's always felt like strange. Because if that's the case, you're only using the one thing at a time anyway, so why wouldn't you just use the same controls? Whatever. Ah, this game takes place in 2012. I see. $16 levels. That don't hurl chunks. Last I checked, it was 2026. I didn't know people still said that, but okay. It's all good. Dig Dug, 8-bit. Is there 52 BCS? This is what I didn't know existed. There's a, so we got 52. Why is it in this order? Weird. I need to see what this looks like. Need to know. Speaking of hurling chunks, this is one of those concessions I guess they made. Oh, you can still do the thing. You can still shoot through the walls a little bit. That's cool. Gotta use your imagination here. I mean, this is the Atari 50 collection, so there's only so many games that are on here. I do have other stuff. I don't think I have any 5200 games in this on my Legion. I know I got 2600. I actually need to see what I have on here on Big Box, because I did delete some stuff, but it wasn't anything like old. Man, see, I was thinking the same. I was like, man, Mr. Do should be here, but Mr. Do's not. It's not Namco. I think Mr. Do is Universal, which is weird. So weird seeing certain companies be associated with games. Like, I think that new 007 game is like associated with like MGM. So now MGM has like a weird gaming division. I guess this isn't the worst thing ever, but this is also not like this feels better than Pac-Man does, but That's not saying much. Like, it feels closer to the actual spirit of the arcade game. Dang it. I died for no reason. Does this change colors? It does. That's all I needed to know. Alright, we're good. We're good. Where Atari Japan failed, Namco thrived, becoming one of the most groundbreaking, influential game publishers in all of Japan. But that's another story. I guess that's it. I guess we have to see if they are going to make more stuff. This is so the Atari 50 collection's got it goes here, 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 and then it stops here. And then this was the first DLC. This was the second DLC, which features all the Intellivision stuff, and you get the one that's got like Namco games. This is... I forgot what they're called. It's a certain type of game that's in here. I think the reason I got this... Is this how... Yeah, it had Berserk. It had Berserk, and I was like, I gotta get this. I need this. Berserk is one of those games that you see it and you're like, oh, this game's stupid. Then you play it, you're like, ah, I need to play it again. This is also one of those games I found out about because of MAME. I don't even think I had heard of Evil Otto. I mean, Atari for like, it seems like forever was like the thing that people thought of when they think of video games, like with the you know, the joystick design and stuff. Like when I was younger, I had a Nintendo, but like my brother, just hearing him talk about old games from before I was born, made me want Atari so bad. Got him. Yikes. Where there's a way, I think if you line it up just right, you can take it. You can get shot like through your characters, like where their head is, because there's a gap right there. But I've never been able to do it. Maybe it's just a rumor. All right, that's enough Atari 50. I mostly just wanted to go to the Pac-Man stuff. Hey, puppy. Let's see. I do need to load up Big Box. I always need to load Big Box to see what I have in there, because like I don't know what's in here. I can't remember what I put on here. I had a lot of stuff in the Steam Deck, and my Steam Deck broke when I did this. It was like I rushed to put stuff on here because I wanted to have games here. But then there's something that happened. There's something weird that happened with this. Where like I didn't put as much stuff as I had on my Steam Deck. I guess because I didn't want to waste the time in case this device wasn't worth using, which Legion Go so far pretty good. It's got some issues. It has some really, really, really big issues, which is mostly performance stuff. Like you try to close a game and all of a sudden it disappears and you can't figure out how to get to it, and the buttons are like weird. They're all Windows buttons. I got 2600. I don't think any of the arcade stuff works. I got to set that up. SNES, PS2 is barely anything. I had to go back and add in Time Splitters 1 because I got a soft spot for this game. I had way more games in here, but at some point I realized I wasn't going to play most of them. PS1, I went and deleted a bunch of stuff from. I need to go back and like, I need to delete everything on here that's in PS1 and then go back and like add in specific games. Because there's a gap. It goes like, yeah, it goes from Die Hard Trilogy down to R4, and I know there's stuff in between. Like, I'd probably want to have Ergies on here. Maybe Einhander. I don't have the Resident Evil games on here because I've got them on PC, so. I wish when I was younger, I liked the idea of Twisted Metal so much. Like it seems so cool. And I tried to explain to people before. I was like, yeah, there's something with Twisted Metal where it's like it's hard to go back to. Um, and what I think it is to me like car combat games after this came out were like all the rage for a little while. I feel like car combat games, when people could do first person shooters where you have like a left stick and a right stick and you can move and shoot at the same time, it made people not really want to play car combat because that's all you were kind of doing. This is basically just a deathmatch game, but instead of having to worry about like, strafing or whatever, you're steering a car, so it makes more sense. But yeah, it's hard for me to go back to these. This one in particular is just because it's so hard. It doesn't seem like it should be. It's like this game feels like it's almost impossible now. You get like 3 continues, 3 lives, whatever, and it's just game over after that. P physical games. I don't know about that. It's weird. So this whole digital and physical thing, like that's been a thing I remember on PC, especially back when Steam started getting bigger. And the problem I've had with physical games for so long, like probably since the end of the PS3, is that so many of them depend on so many patches to even be playable, or like installations and stuff like that. So everything before then, like PS2, like everything up to the PS2, GameCube, Xbox, whatever, like awesome. It's cool that you can still get a physical PS3 and PS3 games, but there's so many games after that point that just like Destiny, you can go get a copy of Destiny now. I don't even think you can play the game. I don't know if it works or not. It looks like there's hearts all over the characters. What's this dude's deal? Mr. Grimm is the one I always like to play as because he's on a motorcycle, but he also has like no life. Look, it's the 90s. It's a very 90s man right there. I don't know. Let's try this out. I always go with like Sweet Tooth or Yellow Jacket. Like those are my go-to. Maybe a Dumper. Yeah. So this game ends up hurting my thumb because you end up using the D-pad because this is before there were 2 analog sticks. You see this? You just started off and I'm already getting whooped. Got it. beat a level. But yeah, man, this game is like, yeah, when I think about it, it was such an important game. Like this and Tomb Raider were so big, and like when I go back to play them now, I'm just like, man, they're so like stiff, um, confusing, trying to figure out what you can and cannot do, or like just trying to like not get killed when it feels like everybody starts targeting you at a certain point. Very tough. I thought I was about to roll straight into this dude. Oh, there's your health station to X's. I remember that. It's behind me. Ugh. I think I have set myself up. I think be careful because that other car has not really been touched yet. Go. Grim. Did I just run it from my own mind? I don't know, might have. Oh, it's no good. It's no good, man. Yeah, I feel like I've gotten pretty lucky with that not happening lately. Usually in the summertime here, it happens just like it'll be like a month where all of a sudden we have bad power. They say they've been doing some stuff here in my neighborhood to like try to fix the power grid or whatever, so maybe I'm just lucky. I don't know. Steady up. Oh no, he's so small. Such a small guy. Who's that? Is that special? Oh, it's turbo. Good War Dog Head. Why are you beside me and I don't see you? Got him. Got him. Please. Don't need to do that. He's behind me. Shoot. Where are we going? He's still behind me. So space to turn around and not run into walls. That'll help me out a lot. It's here. I win the war of attrition, right? Come on. Oh, come on. I was positive I was going to win that. I should use my special instead. Oh well. Cry 1. Yes, it's me, Calypso. They come from every background: assassins, mercenaries, vigilantes, professional drivers, social misfits, and joyriders. All are out for one thing tonight: chance to battle for their ultimate dream. Tonight, one dream will come true. Tonight's combatants are I don't know. I feel like that's got to be like there has to be like a checks and balances system for that to make sure that doesn't happen. Because once it happens, then what? Do they have to like import the stuff they exported? They have to like pay the people back. Like, oh, hey, I know we sent you this much, but we need like this much back. Yeah, man, Twisted Metal is like it's a really cool series for what it was, but it's so hard to go back to just because of how it controls and like how I don't know, it's just my mindset's not there anymore. Like I can't remember how I used to play that. But what's funny is there's some games that I have that issue with. And there's other games I don't like. There was a period of time when I could not go back to GoldenEye, and now I can play it whenever. It's totally fine. It's like your mind was in a different place. Maybe what would help is if you go like for me, if I went back and played stuff from that time period, like let's just say I played nothing but like PS1 games, like Super Nintendo, early Saturn, early PS1 games. Maybe then my mind would be like, oh wow, look at this. This game is completely different. But yeah, I don't know, man. This game holds up so good. This game holds up so good. Pee-wee. Pee-wee, what's up, buddy? Pee-wee. There you go. Downstairs. I never got to play that one. I think I was scared off because they advertised it so much as being like a multiplayer game. Um, there were some games I just didn't touch. Like I remember, when I got the PS3, it took a while. It took me maybe like 2 or 3 years, but at some point it was like maybe 2010, and I was like, oh man, let me go check out that Warhawk game. And by the time I hopped on it, nobody was playing it anymore. Oh man. 1080 is also a very strange game. Where 1080 is cool. To me, Wave Race is timeless. 1080 is a very like it. I think it came out before the Tony Hawk games were out. This is 1988. I believe it came before Tony Hawk came out. When you go back to this game, like I remember playing the half pipe, but the whole point of the game is it's a racing game, and it's so weird because it's just like this and Cool Borders both have that where they do have trick events, but like you really are racing. I like so the Splinter Cell 1 is a game that to me is like I was going to say it's timeless. I really do like Splinter Cell 1. Splinter Cell 2 I remember being pretty cool too. Never really finished, never got that far into 3. I remember playing 1 and 2 back to back at like the mid 2000s because I remember renting 1 and I rented one and I had Metal Gear Solid and it was very hard. Oh, my bad. You said Splinter Cell. I was thinking Siphon Filter. Splinter Cell is also good. Splinter Cell is just tough because it's so strict. You get the whole Jesus Christ, Fisher. What the hell? What the hell were you thinking? But yeah, Splinter Cell's it's cool. I think it holds up alright. PC, not so much, but playing on the console, great. The PC thing is that they were trying to emulate analog controls you could sneak. So it's like, oh, you gotta hold like this button down and use your mouse wheel to speed up how fast you're moving. It's terrible. When I think about like what's it called? Is it Chaos Theory is the third one? I think they kind of just gave up on that and just let it be a third person stealth game. I got fond memories of this. I remember I had a huge crush on Vicky in the corner over there because she was a girl in the game. Take my dog out in a minute, I think. Outside. He comes up here and he wants to go out or he wants to go to bed. Look at her, she's so hot. She's such a babe. Wow. I remember back when this game came out, it might have been the Dreamcast version, but I remember pointing out to one of my friends, this is back when the game was new. This wasn't a hindsight thing. There's this way, like when the characters would talk, where like just to show who was talking, they would start shaking. So like say somebody like picks up the radio, like you're sitting like this the whole time, like they're having like a seizure. Let's go. Be cinematic for yeah, Splinter Cell. I thought Pandora Tomorrow was the second one with the stealth, not the stealthy, the spies versus mercs. Maybe it was. I think the third one had co-op, and then you get. Is that when you go to Blacklist and Double Agent? I forgot. I think it's Double Agent and Blacklist. I think there's one. There's one I'm missing. There's the one where he's like let go from the team. That might be Blacklist. Or there's one where you're just like a dude, you're just him, and I think his daughter gets kidnapped or something. Oh, come on, dude. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. This dude just woke up and started smoking. Yes, that's the one. That's the one I can't remember the name of.
Good to go.
Conviction. That was the one that had they had the scene, I think, where I feel like it's like they probably did it in what is that? Casino Royale, or it was like he goes in the bathroom and I think he has to like interrogate somebody and then he like smashes his head into like a toilet or something like that. And, like every time I see that in any movie, I'm like, dude, that's harsh. Yippee! Do I die if I go in the water? Say yes. Yep. Still here, my bad. Man, I wish I knew about that. I never got that far in that game. It seemed really cool though, but it was one of those things where like I never got. I think the one I played the most of was probably Blacklist, but as a result, I felt kind of bad about like hopping over to Conviction, and then realizing, you know what, I had owned Splinter Cell 1 and I heard great things about what's it called, Pandora Tomorrow and Chaos Theory. So when I try to go back to play the series, it's like it's just weird going back to some of those games. They're different. They're different games. Splinter Cell, GoldenEye, obviously popular. So they made the Mission Impossible game, which I think some people like. That game is terrible. That game is, if you can get into it, like I've been able to get into that game 2 or 3 times in my life, and when it really like clicks, that game is actually pretty cool because they mix up the types of missions that you do. But yeah. My favorite version of that is Vice City, where is it Tommy Vercetti? Him touching water kills him, and I'm like, yo, you are in the wrong state to have that be your issue.
Good to go.
Thank goodness for auto aim. This man's like shooting off to the side of his body. He's not even looking in that direction. It's still going over there. What's funny is I've never finished. I never played any of the Black Ops games outside of, I played 2's multiplayer. That's pretty much it. So I've been wanting to play one, like 1, 2, and 3, and I own. Wait, what? Hold on. How do I do this? Oh, I gotta focus. So if I walk over it, it doesn't change anything. It just spots them. It just lets you know that's where they are. That's really stupid. It's a bad way to do a minefield. Yay! Grim is dead. Alright. But yeah, Vice City and the whole like can't swim. So weird. They added in motorcycles, they added in jumps over water, but you cannot swim in Vice City. This game doesn't seem terrible. I would love to get back into this, but I cannot do collectathons, man. But like some people are like, oh, some people say this game is way better than Mario 64. I don't get it. I don't understand that. Whatever they want to say. I just hate the fact that like every level has like 5 million things you have to get to finish it. The game itself is pretty cool. Like if it wasn't for that, but like you end up having to go back to levels like, all right, I want to go to this next level. Oh shoot, I forgot 8 jiggies. Let me go back and get the jiggies. Look, they feature it on the back. Bear and Bird must hunt down the 100 puzzle pieces and 900 musical notes that ultimately lead them to Grentilda. or ultimately will lead them to Gruntilda. However, miles of swamp, desert, and snow and one bear of an adventure stand in their way. Like, telling me, I don't want to see the back of the box and be like, yo, you can collect so much stuff. Guess what? We got another game we're going to be making. Forget Conquer. We're going to skip Conquer. You want to collect even more stuff? What if you were in a level with the only character that you have unlocked and you can see 400 other bananas, but they're different colors, so you can't touch them until you get the other monkey and go back to the same levels? Like, man, the designs they had back then were so weird. And it was all design. You know, you can listen to the DK rap. I haven't heard it in a long time. But yeah, they just try to, you know, stretch games out to make you want to play them longer. Fair, but not like this. I feel like people that don't understand why somebody might not like this game are like delusional.
Here we go. Performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap as we take you through this monkey rap. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. His coconut gun can fire in spurts. If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member of the DK crew. He's a hard-start star, so listen up, dude. She can shrink in size to suit her mood. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She can go through the air and climb up trees. If you choose her, you'll not choose wrong. With a skip and a hop, she's one cool calm. He has no style, he has no grace. This car has a funny face. He can handstand when he needs to and stretch his arms out.
Speaking of which, I need to see that what's it called? Kirby, the Kirby cartoon. Kirby, is it Back at Ya? Something like that. I haven't heard of it, but I've never seen it. I've only seen like animations from it.
Back again and about time too. And this time, he's in the mood. He can fly real high with his jetpack goes with his pistols out. One tough call, he'll make you smile when he plays his tune. But heavens beware, 'cause he's finally, he's here for you. It's the last member of the DK crew. This Kong so strong.
He used so much space for the song.
Make a gremlin cry out. Look, can pick up a boulder with relative ease. Make crushing rocks seem such a breeze. He may move slow, he can't jump high, but this Kong's one hell of a guy. Come on, Cranky, take it to the fridge. Walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. Oh yeah, walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells.
So this was coming to the Switch Virtual Console, and it's one of those things that everybody's like, oh. I don't understand. I don't know enough about Kirby, because that sounds right. Like I'm under the impression that like Kirby has a lot of lore that I don't know anything about because it's Kirby. Yeah. I remember renting this game from Hollywood Video when it came out. I didn't want to play this game. I wanted to. What happened is I rented Perfect Dark. I knew it supported the expansion pack, but I didn't know what that meant. So rented Perfect Dark, got home thinking like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be able to play this like new, GoldenEye sequel with my friends or by myself or whatever. And like you can't do any of the single player stuff in that game without an expansion pack. So I went back to the store because if you rented Donkey Kong 64, they gave you an expansion pack so you knew how to play the game. So I just kind of had this game and didn't touch it the entire weekend. I just spent time messing around with Perfect Dark, which I was also confused about. Perfect Dark is a game I need to give a shot and actually understand that game one of these days. It seems cool. It's just that the thing is with GoldenEye is you can play the game on like Agent and just fly through the missions. If you play Perfect Dark, like everything is so deep. Like you need to use your items and take pictures of certain things and all this other stuff that I didn't really do in GoldenEye. You have to do that stuff on 00. But if you're not playing that, like you don't even know it's there. Here's some really cool stuff about Kirby. I got Star Fox, the Star Fox remake.
Soon, Donkey Kong and his pretty little island will be no more.
Yes, Your Excellency. The machines that are ready. No problem. Everything's fine.
Gods! I want you to do everything in your power to keep Donkey Kong distracted. Steal that horde of golden bananas he treasured so much.
Man, good luck,
and
dude.
take care of his
Good luck, dude. I do not miss
This time
those.
there can be no mistakes.
Oh, Your Excellency, we've already taken care of business.
I hope for your sake you're right this time.
No.
While you'll be busy looking for your precious golden bananas, flea-bitten friends, I'll be preparing my lizard-flavored surprise.
Quickly, they're gone. All gone. She's so hot. I understand. What is this? Way that he's always losing his bananas, man. Yep. Old Cranky's batch of homemade potions will give you all the skills you need for your silly 3D quests, but you're not having any until you complete my training barrels. Now buzz off and come back when you've done them all. I don't want to do that. What did Cranky mean? We gotta go to the barrels, man. Where are they? Maybe they are in here. Boy, oh boy. Feels like I should be able to go over to this thing and it should open. I guess I have to learn his ability. It's probably like a butt stomp or something stupid. But it always is. I have no clue where I'm supposed to go to. Oh, here they are. They just didn't pop in yet. Stupid.
Well done! Well done!
More. This camera, dude, is so bad. This weird circus music doesn't help either.
Well done! Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, okay then. I don't know, dude. This... No, don't zap the statue. But... know what happens. It's a mystery. This is so there's a game on Steam, NBA The Run, which looks like this, but apparently it's closer to NBA Jam, is what people say. Yeah, it's not good. I don't know how to play these games. The Def Jam games. I need to check this out and see if this is going. So I had that game, Shredders. I uninstalled it because I was like, well, I have SSX3 and I think I'm good. I think if I'm looking for a snowboarding thing, I think SSX3 will be fine. The other game, Shredders, is like 20, 21 gigs or something like that. It's a cool game. It's just, it takes a decent amount of space. You don't have a lot of stuff.
You're tuned to Radio Big. I'm DJ Atomica, the eyes and ears of SSX for spectators and competitors alike. Broadcasting live from my nifty little sound booth with access to over
There is way too much story stuff in SSX that nobody knows about. Like there's stuff between like games like where there's a plane that went down and some of the characters died in a crash or something like that. It's crazy.
Here's some mountain info for those of you out riding today. Reports in from Peak 1's high alpine state that avalanche conditions have moved into the extreme. Riders are requested to use caution when venturing out into the backcountry. Peak 2 is experiencing the beginnings of storm-like conditions. Reports are coming in of strong winds throwing riders around and apparently beating up on some of the trees up there too. Watch yourselves, people. Just got off the phone with Peak 3 Ski Patrol. Sounds a bit dangerous up there. There's been a few sightings of crevices and big ice chunks breaking away. That's never good. You better be prepared. It's taken event organizers 2 years to turn this mountain into the ultimate SSX championship. Riders will be charging hard down these newly designed, never-before-seen racetracks where the terrain borders on the insane. New events like Slopestyle will be pitting riders against a host of constructs where competitors will snake the best lines through the wildest tracks to perform legendary tricks. Without a doubt, abilities will be pushed to the max in the big air events. Riders will be going harder and higher than anything seen before. This year's one-of-a-kind Superpipe events will be like no others. Riders are gonna have to throw it up huge to win these babies. SSX Big Mountain. You gotta love it. Circuit is the uber-talented Allegra Sauvagesse. Mountain Man Nate Logan, Stylemeister Vigo Rolig, and Boy Wonder Griff Simmons. In addition, a few of the SSX veterans have returned. Amazon bombshell Elise Riggs, hip-hop scenester Mac Fraser, and crowd favorite Zoe Payne, to name a few. Enough talk. Time to ride. Stay tuned right here to Radio Big.
Game was so SSX Tricky was such a big deal. Like SSX came out and I didn't know that was a thing. SSX Tricky came out and like people wouldn't stop talking about it. When this came out, it seemed like it was like a step back to me from SSX Tricky. But when I go play it now, I'm like, oh, this game is actually really cool. Allegra, she is.
Let's do this.
To Radio Big. You're looking to add something new to your collection after getting all your boy band stuff stolen, and I know how that feels. Give this track from the Basement Jacks a listen.
You're gonna get the hang of these controls again. We're gonna give you a minute.
What a
L, R, and Z buttons under it. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Aw, man! Time bonus. I'm rocking this! I still look good. Why me? Pure enjoyment!
Disappointing. I was right there, dude.
Any questions, kids? Come on, Allegra, get with it! Time bonus.
You're tuned to Radio Big. Here's the latest. I saw anyone heading over to Peak One's Green Bay station right now. Once their competitors will either be picking their event or dropping the hype and taking in a bit of that free ride groove. Some may even stop off at the lodge to gear up. Regardless, I'll be watching it all from this little booth. You know, there are so many ways to ride and play around through this SSX circuit. Event organizers just sent out a text message giving the lowdown.
We're good. Yeah, man, this game is pretty good. Like, it's a game I didn't appreciate enough when it came out. Just because Tricky was such a force, and this feels like it made everything a bit more toned down, but it's got a really good flow. It's like when I was younger, I didn't appreciate Tony Hawk 4 for what it was, and like went back to it later. It's like, oh, dude, this is perfect. Like, you can just kind of like skate, do what you want to do, and then lock into a mission, and you know, you got like a 30-second time limit all of a sudden. So, all right, BRB. I need food.
Fire!
I am here, bet. 99 stock, crazy.
Choose your character. Mario! Ready? Go! Yeah! Yeah!
Trying to play this with like a non-GameCube controller feels very illegal. Ugh. I still have memories of the first time I saw this game in person, just being like, what? Like, I couldn't believe it, man. Like, my friends and I had spent so much time playing Smash 64, and I had a, we had one friend his older brother got a GameCube. And, like, I remember we were at his house, we went to go see if he wanted to hang out or whatever, and he was being really, like, secretive. Like, he didn't want to know that we had it, I guess, or that he had it. So, he opened the door, but he only opened it like halfway or something. It was really weird. And then later, you know, we asked him like what was going on. I was like, oh, I got a GameCube. But at the same time, like the same friend, his younger cousin, got one too. And the first game he got for whatever reason was Super Monkey Ball. So like, brought it over to my friend's house. We spent the entire like weekend playing that. In the fray, star KO, cheap KO, whatever. Alright, well, let me take my dog out. I can't escape this song. Star. Probably hear Pee-wee in the background starting to whine. Over, man.
Continue.
All right, well, take the doggy out. I will be back, I think. We'll see. I'll be back this evening for sure. Don't know about right now, but thank you for stopping by in the meantime.